Hey you guys, it's MJ. Is all to love. I am the force field behind a spiritual lifestyle brand called All to Love. And here you are, you find yourself on All to Love TV. Some of you guys know that All to Love has just launched an online course, an 8-week online course called Zenville Zero Waste, and we got 3 more coming at you. I'm about to be heading off to Indonesia. Morning! Heading off to Indonesia, and I'm giving some money to a family I met there last year with Katie. Crowdfund. We've raised so far just over £500, so I got to go out there. He sent me some updates. They have got like walls to their home now, but he's also like mega thankful because the extra little bit of cash that we're bringing him will just help support them and give them more materials. Plus, I heard, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, there was actually like another earthquake out there. So my dad is so looking forward to me traveling to Indonesia this year. Okay, so the course that I'm working on that we'll be launching in January is Spirituality Simplified. My inspiration for this share was talking about my vegan life and being a longtime vegetarian and vegan and why. And I just want this to be kind of a quick little share. But I was a kid who would cry when I'd see roadkill. So like as a teeny tiny kid and squirrels and things like that, and I'd literally bawl my eyes out. If I saw animal violence on TV, I'd bawl my eyes out. And I was probably about 10, 11 maybe, when I suddenly made the connection of, oh my goodness, this hamburger or this chicken or whatever that I'm eating is the creatures, right? The lovely creatures. And so it was like an instantaneous ethical decision for me, like a compassionate ethical decision to not consume flesh. And I've never gone back. I've never been unwell from being vegan or veggie. And the research that I do says, hey, it's really actually a healthy, sort of evolved way of living on the planet. Not to mention, veganism really does align with our zero waste and sustainability piece, because the raising and rearing of cattle and animals is actually really harmful for the environment. So I didn't make a decision 25 years ago to be vegan because of the environment. I made a decision to be vegan because like my heart literally could not handle the thought of like killing innocent creatures for my consumption. And only looking back now, I can see that that was kind of radical, small town Canadian girl. And people didn't understand it. And even by the time I hit puberty, some of my like friends were also going veggie, but then they would like order pizza and just pick the pepperoni off, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, you're still killing the creature, duh. But they were doing it more out of kind of a trendiness rather than like the compassion piece. So with the Great Awakening, more humans are kind of awakening to that compassion and going, whoa, hold the phone. And here's my thing. Like, I have no judge. I practice non-judgment as a thing. I'm not like, I am judgment free, bow to me. No, I practice non-judgment, right? So I really do practice total non-judgment for people who choose to eat meat and for people who, maybe choose to shop at Primark or like high street brands or whatever that I also don't buy new clothing or anything. But anywho, yeah, I have no judgment, and people's bodies are their bodies, and I'm all for like intuitive eating and all. Look at heart vibration in your face and on my wall. So here is my nugget of compassionate truth for all the meat eaters in the world. If you truly believe, hey there, awesome, reduce, and then eventually it would just kind of fall away. My hint for like meat eaters are like watching the documentaries and really facing the industry. So if you're eating meat and you feel guilty about that, then maybe you want to kind of like hang back for a bit, or it's kind of awareness and education. And what kind of niggles at me are meat eaters who refuse to take responsibility. So they're just like, whatever, vegan, shh, how do you get your protein or whatever? And then they refuse, they're like, oh, no, 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 I don't want to watch that documentary. Why? Because it's going to make you feel bad. And then what? Right? And so they like refuse to be responsible for the violent slaughter that they're buying into, right? However, here's the piece as well. I've met people, usually they're more dominant, they're typically men. I don't know if that's relevant to our past, I'm sure it is, but there are people I've met who, hey, I'm Manavesta Nation. I'm pretty much off of most processed food. I don't eat corn even. Sometimes tempeh. I do have stuff in when I go out for vegan food, but when I'm eating just myself, it's pretty much potatoes and veg, or rice and veg, or bread. I love bread. So here's my like non-judgy piece as well when it comes to meat eaters. I met meat eaters who are like, yeah, and yeah, I killed a rabbit last week. Or like, yeah, I'm not, this isn't how they all come across, by the way. They're not all just like meatheads, but like, or they're like, yeah, I twisted a chicken's neck and killed it and ate it. And so with my awareness, I'm just like, oh, so for some people, like it is actually in alignment. Like for some people, it is in their purity and in their heart and in their alignment that it's like they have some kind of soul contract with the creatures. Like, it's cool. I'm gonna take your life and you're gonna give me life. And there's like this agreement, and it sits and it works, right? And I'm just somebody like lots of other in this increasing vegan movement that it didn't feel right. And then on top of it, for me, my physical body actually manifested how I always desired once I really committed to the veganism. So I turned vegan veggie and tried lots of different kinds of diets from the age of like 11. And then vegan veggie, I mean like back and forth. The same can be said in the, yeah, I think I get what you mean there, right? Of, for some reason it's not coming on full spectrum of color. Yeah, me too. Except I do fail on that sometimes, I gotta say. The poverty in Africa, the problems in the nuclear. Yes, yes! Dyslexic artist. Nick. It's like, we just want to not look. It's same like when we buy our fashion, and our fashion is made not probably in conditions that we think are humane, but we just like don't want to look. And I guess that's kind of the whole thing about All to Love, is that like having been in different spiritual circles or yoga circles or conscious or whatever, but people don't want to look, or people want to talk about evolution, but they don't want to look at, to me, what's non-evolved, like violence and slaughter and barbarism and carnivorousness. To me is like our old paradigm. It's like that lower level perception of humanity rather than like conscious like creators. And again, in my heart of hearts, like if you genuinely can go out and slaughter an animal and eat it and enjoy it and you're good to go, it's just not my vibe. And I actually think there would be more balance if people could honor their vibe, right? Like if there's people who want to eat meat, there might still well be a pocket, a substantial pocket of humanity who still needs to maybe wean themselves off the meat or just eat less. I do believe that the large majority, and especially with the obesity epidemic, that we're probably just consuming way too much food in general, but the meat and the dairy are pretty big culprits for like the bloating of our bodies and the kind of our bodies kind of shutting down and breaking down because of the density. When I see it in really simple ways, it's the density. And if we're becoming lighter as beings, we don't need the density. Hence why I think more and more people are surviving off of fruitarianism and all that kind of stuff. And I'm kind of amazed with my food patterns. Like, yes, I'm vegan. I do eat mostly plant-based, but there's no, I couldn't even necessarily tell you, like, other than that, being primarily plant-based, I can't eat microwave food anymore. Last time I tried microwave, it really fucked up my tummy. Processed food is increasingly like, even like the corns or the kind of processed fake vegan meat or whatever, like, or protein shakes and stuff, like that kind of stuff does increasingly kind of like makes me feel kind of whack. So yeah, oats, grains, fruits, veg, nuts. Yeah, like just simple food that grows from the earth, and my bod feels good. I would say, if anything, like as a plant-based vegan, I just eat a lot. That's what it feels like to me. I just like eat a lot whenever I want and make sure like I feel nourished. There you go. That's it, you guys. That's just a little bit about my vegan life and our All Too Vegan Love. So All Too Vegan Love is launching March, spring 2019, after Spirituality Simplified. I know. That's like literally my family's whole thing, Nick, is like, because it was really my mother who pioneered. My mom's like a flower hippie child of the 60s, and she was the one that once we moved and like things were life changes, and mom was like, do you girls want to be veggie? And it was just like a no-brainer. But as a family, we'd often kind of have those discussions of like, man, God, sometimes it's way easier, but let's be honest, animals don't talk, so it's easier to feel love and compassion for them. There's less resistance, so they're much more kind of in their essence, in their signature than a lot of humans are, which is why we can tune into their divinity sometimes a little bit more easily. Yeah, that's it, you guys. So if you want to check the website out, you can just click on Be the Change. I think something like Get on the List, Be the Change, and then just let me know what course you're interested in. It's all pretty standard. So like every course is 144 pounds. Every course is structured in an 8-week format. The Spirituality Simplified has a lot to do with the book, The Fearless Life Guide, but I'm deducing that even further. And then I'm creating a yoga and meditation kind of 8-week program for you. So every week, or if not every day, there's meditation, tutorial, and a yoga practice. All Too Vegan Love is kind of like a fun way to transition people to veganism. Obviously a non-nutritional and non-scientific background, just purely heart-based and kind of trendy, if you will, almost like a fashion thing. So All Too Vegan Love is coming out in March, and I figure that's kind of like, pre-summer, when maybe people after like winter or whatever want to make some dietary changes. And then our final course is going to be Unplug for Freedom, which is really, really, really important for all of these other things, where we just stop watching and engaging with mainstream media and eventually social media. Those of you guys know, obviously I'm an online entrepreneur, so I like share online, and I am online a fair amount, and I'm posting and sharing stuff, but I'm actually not engaging a lot with other information. Some of you guys share videos with me sometimes, which is cool. But I'm just kind of like total honesty and transparency. I just don't watch that much stuff. I sometimes don't know where my days go and how time flies by, but I relax a lot. I sometimes like walk around, I listen to music, I move, I do yoga, I lie down in shavasana, meditate. Sometimes I watch tarot stuff for fun. Sometimes I watch a little bit of astrological updates and movies. But a lot of stuff that people kind of throw at me, I'm not guided to. I don't, yeah, I don't know why I'm saying that, but there you go. Maybe it's because of the channel and just like sharing these courses with you out of finding this clarity and this kind of eternal peace, because that's kind of how I feel, even when I'm in the shits. There's still just an ever-present peace inside my heart space for you and all of humanity. So that's it. See how I ramble on? I do apologize. You guys have such a gorgeous day today. It's Friday. Bum, bum. Hey, John Beanie. Oh, no, namaste vest. What I did, I saw myself as one person's actually. So well done, you guys. Proud of you for making the transition thing. And well done, John, as well. That's like from, what's that movie? Running with Wolves or Dancing with Wolves? Or no, I think the movie's called Last of the Mohicans. It's quite an intense one, but it's all about that. Like, if we're going to eat meat, we need to be in sacred reverence to the life they've given us, right? And I think as long as we're in that dedicated sort of benevolence, but that's no different than us just being in grace, being in gratitude, right? That's one of the lessons in Spirituality Simplified. Secret. Oops, secret. Grace and gratitude. Okay, thank you guys so much for sharing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'm wishing you all a wonderful day. Hey, don't forget to book in. There's one more week left of this like 30-minute call thing, which has been super fun, just like tuning in and getting to meet some of you guys like this. Like, hey there, ho there, what's happening? Let me know if you want any information about anything. Otherwise, just have a glorious day. And hey, if it kind of hurts your heart to think about slaughtering an innocent creature and eating it, then you're allowed to not eat it anymore. Or, like these guys are doing, just be mega grateful for the life force and take your time weaning yourself off of that product as a food source. Because trust me, your body probably, 99% sure your body can survive without it. But sometimes we need to like shift gently and slowly, and I feel that big time with lots of things, including substance and whatnot. Okay, guys, go away, you guys, go away. Shh. Like that's me talking to myself, like shut up. But I love you, hot vibration across the nation. I have to go, you guys. I'm starting to get the annoying of my own voice. Love you, bye.